if you're going to grow outdoor, we grow outdoors. We had 6 of the meanest frickin' dogs you ever saw. I was scared of them. We had razor wire. We had all kinds of warnings, high voltage. And yeah, went up there every weekend and shot guns. Just because we wanted them, then here, bang, 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 those guys have guns. We hung a flag up there, a Gadsden flag. Yeah, we wanted to think that there's some crazy motherfuckers up there with guns. And I got up there. We had motion detector lights, but we also had lights.
Is it Gadsden the don't tread on me?
Exactly.
Okay. I didn't know it by that.
Yes, yes. And we had light sensors that we put on each corner, and the reason I liked those, because it had little LED lights that beeped every couple seconds. And I had someone say, my God, Eddie, guys, I could see that thing from like 2 miles away. And I said, that's the idea. That's the idea. Big bugs would fly by our motion detector lights. I spent a night up there one time. Lights were off and on all night long. So yeah, we lit the place up. They got lots of dogs barking, lots of guns, lots of danger signs, razor wire. That should be a hint.
Oh, nice.
And it was in an extremely isolated area, so odds of somebody stumbling on it weren't real good. We called it Liberty Farms. We had 3 years of production up there. It was just a 24 by 24 enclosure with 25 plants. We brought in 24 pounds the first year, and the last year we brought in 30. And now it's not acres and acres and thousands of plants. We only needed 25 plants, because in California your average plant's going to be a pound or more. Your average plant in Pennsylvania in a cornfield is going to be 6 ounces. Big difference.
Yeah. The Flying Dutchman.
Yes.
Explain the leaching process to me.
It's the single most crucial process in growing indoors successfully. Most people do it at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. What I'm going to explain to you, if other growers see this, they're going to laugh. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, that's just it. No, this is it. The plants are going to come from the nursery. They're in 6-inch pots. They've been in there a couple of weeks. They're going to get transplanted into 5-gallon buckets. Those 5-gallon buckets are filled with Miracle Grow moisture control. Oh yeah, Miracle Grow. You gotta hear about all kinds of stuff. Listen, they use one of the highest quality sphagnum peat mosses on the market. They're not perfect. Yeah, they sometimes get plastic and stuff in there. You should be sorting that out. However, what they do is they skimp on their fertilizer. They use osmolite pellets, and the osmolite pellets contain urea. The osmolite pellets, as they are wetted, will eventually dissolve and release the urea into the soil. This is the fertilizer. However, your plant can't use urea. The urea must first be broken down by bacteria. The byproduct of bacteria, as anybody knows who's ever gotten a cavity, is that it secretes acid. So, as your plant is growing for about the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's growing real nice. The urea is fine. The pH of your soil is dropping, but you're still within a normal operating range. However, the breakdown of the urea is causing the pH of your soil to drop. Most nutrient deficiencies are not nutrient deficiencies. The pH of your soil is incorrect. You have plenty of nutrients in there, but the pH has gotten too low. For instance, you drop below 6.3, your plant starts having problems with phosphorus. But drop even lower, you'll have other problems. So, the plants will typically stay in those 5-gallon buckets for about 3 weeks, because that's when I'm going to turn the lights back and start flowering. But it is also when I begin leaching the plants. Now, I do it in a tub, and I have 2x4s that go across. And I can put 3 of these 5-gallon buckets up on what I call leaching rails. The soil drains very well. So you don't need to worry about overwatering when you're doing this, because you're going to dump 8 to 10 gallons of water through each one of those plants. You are stripping the plants of all of its soluble nutrients, the remaining urea, and most of the bacteria. In other words, you're making a clean slate. Now, you want your dissolved solids to be under 500 parts per million. Typically, 8 to 10 gallons will get you there. However, at this point now you have a blank slate, a bucket that is basically filled with water and no nutrients for the plants or anything. So the very last step in the leaching is you must put 2 gallons of fertilizer into that 5-gallon bucket. I use Dynagrow. 10 mLs of Dynagrow to 8 mLs of pH up in a gallon. Fill the gallon halfway with water first. Do not mix these two together. One is an acid, one is a base. We don't want a reaction. Fill your gallon halfway up. Put in your 10 and your 8. Fill it the rest of the way up. And each plant gets 2 of those. That's the final feeding. And then the plants can get put back under the lights, and you are not going to need to water those plants for the next 7, 8, 9 days. They're also going to grow like a foot after you do it. They're going to shoot up like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, wow.
Now the pH of your soil will be 6.8 because you pH adjusted it to 6.8. By the way, when you do the pH adjusting, you're using a gallon jug, and you typically need 200 to 300 milliliters in that gallon jug in order to move the pH from where it is to where you want it.